friends, welcome to Locket Creations, coming to you with another scrapbooking tutorial video. This video will incorporate a new product that I just recently purchased and got inspiration for. The product that I'll be using for my inspiration this evening is this set of Crayola Colors of the World markers. So I was shopping at my local craft store. Actually, I was at the craft store and I saw these a while back and I wanted them, but they were not, they were okay priced. But then I was at a store and I actually saw them on clearance. And I was trying to see if the clearance sticker was on there. Actually, I ended up being able to purchase these for $2. And so that, much to my amazement, definitely piqued my interest when I saw this 24 set of Crayola markers, World of Color, on clearance for $2. Now, great deal for me. I gotta tell you, I was a little saddened when I saw that they were on clearance, because for one, that told me that, the concept behind these markers I think is really awesome, because they are a product that is trying to inspire inclusion. And the fact that they were on clearance, I did get a little bit saddened that, maybe people just aren't really ready for that. But, that's a little deep. Don't want to go that deep with it this evening. I really just want to celebrate the product. So I was a little sad when I saw them on clearance, but then to my advantage, they were on clearance. So at the same time, great deal. So I went ahead and purchased them. So these crayons are actually the inspiration for my layout this evening. So what I'm going to do is create a custom background using these markers. So when I saw that and all the different colors and inclusion, it just made me really want to celebrate that diversity. So I actually had a couple photos that I had taken, several months ago when I was just prepping for bed. Had those photos, and I thought those were the perfect photos to include for this layout. So those are the photos that I'll be using for this layout. And so we'll get started with the process video. I've gathered a white piece of cardstock, which is going to be my base for this page. And another thing that I've grabbed are a couple stencils that I'm going to use for this page and white gesso. So my concept for this page is I want to create circles in various different colors of these crayons so that I can represent all the different melanin shades or colors of the world as the markers portray. So I want to create those circles and have that be a background. So I have two 4x6 photos, which are pretty significant size. The first one of the photos that I have, when I printed it out, I printed the mat around it already. So it actually is, the photo itself is smaller than a 4x6 versus my 4x6 actual photo that I actually have. Okay, so because I'm using a white cardstock, but I will have texture on that, this photo I won't need to matte, obviously in white, unless I may go around it in another color. This particular photo I will probably end up matting as well. So my two photos, at the end of the day, they will be various sizes, because this one is already kind of trimmed down and the mat is already there. Okay, so first I'm going to decide where I want my placement of my photos to go, and once I figure that out, I am just going to mark that location just so that I know where I'm going to do my background. So for this layout, I have decided that I want to use the bottom right hand side for my photo placement. I rarely use that location. So just going to try to do something different and use this area. So I'm just going to put just lightly around the corners of my photo with my pencil. And I do this in a pencil so that I can easily erase it if my background texture that I do doesn't take it away automatically. Okay, so now I know that this area that I've marked off with my pencil is where I want to focus, where my pictures will go, so I don't have to do a whole lot with that area. Okay, so the two stencils that I'm going to use this thicker stencil. This is a stencil, a stencil from Fisker's Circle 1, and had this for a while. These are probably some of the old-fashioned supplies that I've had for years and years and years, and they have the scalloped edges as well as the circles. So I use these quite frequently when I am creating circles. I also have a thin stencil, plastic stencil, that has a smaller circle. So what you'll see is I'm going to create my larger circles using the thicker stencil with the Crayola markers, Colors of the World, and then I'm going to add texture inside some of those circles, or maybe on the side of some of those circles, using gesso and this stencil. Okay, so let's get started on the background. So first of all, I want to decide what size I want my circles to be. So because I have such large photos, it doesn't make sense for me to use the larger circles. So I'm just going to do various shapes of the smaller circles. So I'm going to open up my box of Crayola markers and just pick out several different shades that I want to use, because again, I want to have those various shades represented. That's kind of the highlight of my page. Oh, these are really neat. So kind of unboxing these as we go along as well. Oh, those are cute. So if the Color of the World markers have, let's bring them down here. They have these cute little, each one are individually in these cute little packs that have all the pictures of kids and children that you could actually, the kids can also color on those packs. So those are very cute, nice packaging. So yeah, the fact that I got these for $2, again, great deal. Kind of sad that, you know, these were not more popular, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so I'm just, for this layout, I'm just going to take them out just to kind of see what I have, because I've never used any of these markers before. So I just want to see what colors I have available in the pack. So these have a nice, the first pack have a nice variation of shades. It looks like the second pack has the first one is more browns and tans. The second pack is more pinks and browns, so very pretty there. And the third pack that has the yellow box looks like it has kind of, I guess, maybe an oranginess to them, but very pretty. So I'm gonna pick out a few. I think because, oh, and also it just gives you, the guide gives you a little sampling across the top of the box of the different shades that are within that pack, as well as across the side the different names. So they range from medium almond, medium deep rose, etc., to extra light almond. And they also have some of the colors for the deeper, the darkest colors, the deepest almond, extra deep golden, all the way to medium golden. So I thought that's very, very awesome product that Crayola put together, these Colors of the World markers. Markers contain 24 specially formulated colors that represent people from all around the world. Isn't that cool? So anywho, that's what we have. So I am going to just start randomly selecting colors to start my circles. Because again, I want this to kind of be representative of all those beautiful, beautiful colors of the world of those people, just like Crayola did. Now, I do want to kind of give an illusion of not like that I'm starting from the very top. So I'm going to just kind of center my first circle to kind of be off the page. So I'm just going to randomly select one of the colors. And my concept is that I'm just going to color in a thick, bold line just to create a circle. Okay. That one, even though that's a lighter shade of the brown, it actually colored pretty dark, as you can see. So that one definitely is representative of a darker hue. So now I'm just gonna, again, I'm just gonna randomly select. Let's go with a lighter one this time, because again, I want this to be representative of all these beautiful colors. So I'm just going around a couple times just to make sure it's extra thick. And I'm going to repeat that process just in random shapes and random colors. Let's go grab one of the pinks, shall we? Because again, these wonderful people of the world is what this is representing. So I think that is very awesome of Crayola. Now, as you can see, I'm actually, on some of them, I'm going to go like a little deep because I want to have some texture. So I'm going to go a little bit deeper with some of them just to kind of create a little bit more texture. I did that intentionally. You may think like, what is she doing? But I actually did that intentionally. And again, I'm just kind of randomly picking random sizes. Now, notice my photograph is here. So whichever one I'm doing now is just going to peek under my photo. And that's okay because that's kind of what I want. Okay. I'm really, really liking this. So I'm going to keep going. I'll more than likely speed this part of it up because I realize that this part can be a little bit tedious. But I like, so far, I really like the effect that this is giving me. I'm being careful as I go to kind of place the markers that I've selected back in their correct box so I don't get them all mixed up, but just kind of leave them up a little bit so I know which one I've used, because again, I want to utilize as many of them as I can. So let's go with the lighter tone here. And so my photo is going to be there. So I have that pink, I think maybe here. Let's go with the bigger one. I'm not going to cover my whole entire page with the circles. I just want them to be in one portion, just in one portion of my layout. So to come off, I'm going to go grab the darkest one that I see here for this one. And let's see, what size should I go with? Let's go with this size here. And I want this one to come off of the page. And wow, look how chocolatey that one is. That one definitely is awesome sauce. I love it. Love it. Yes, indeed, I do. Okay, let's go with another. Maybe let's come with another darker hue. Maybe a little bit larger over here. Maybe have this one coming off a little bit more. So far I am really liking this effect. It is giving me what I wanted it to give me. And that I am happy with. Okay, I'm very, very satisfied. Now I want to get some more of that rosy color. So I'm going to try this rosy marker with just a smaller one. Maybe I'll come just kind of peek. Just right under. Being very careful to get, not to put too many that are too close together near each other or the same size or the same shade. So maybe I'll put that pink one over here after all. So it's, and look, I thought that was going to be pink, but look, it's actually Now look at this one. I thought it looks like it's a pinkish apricot. The color is actually deep rose. So it's very dark. And it's not as rosy as that first one that I thought it was going to give me. So that one kind of tricked me a little bit. So good idea, note to self. I'm going to get a scrap piece of paper and just kind of test it out next time, so I don't make that mistake again. So, okay, now now that I know that this one really is rosy or pinky, I'm going to come over here and just go off the side with this one. Really liking this. So who knew when you were an adult, you know, you'd be playing with Crayola markers and crayons. And let's just go over here again. I'm just picking random colors and random sizes just so I can represent all those beautiful colors. I'm liking this. Now I know the top of my photo is going to be right here. What I'm trying to do in my paper is have my pattern be, sorry, for my placement of my mat here. I'm trying to make sure I'm on camera. I want my pattern to kind of be, you know, almost in a curved shape. So I don't want to go too far over. I think maybe if I put one more little one here in, let's see, what shade should I use? Let's try this shade and see if it's really what I think it is. That's cute, but it seems kind of close to that one. So I'm going to abandon that one. We got a dark, a light, so let's go with a really light one. Let's see, what can we even see this one? Okay, that'll work. So let's do this one right here in the center. I like that. That's cute. And then I feel like my final one, I want to have kind of coming off of this side. Maybe trying to just figure out which size I want that one to be. Maybe something like this, coming over just a little bit more. And the color that I think I want to use, let's see, I want a brown, but I want like a brown that's not so deep. Like I want it to be a brown, if you know what I mean. So I'm just testing my different browns to see. That one's dark. I think I've used that one before. I want it to be like a true brown. And you know, the more I look at that one, that actually is not bad. So I'm going to go with that one because it really does look like a true brown. Okay. So now that I have created all of my circles in all of these beautiful shades of colors, love that, I'm going to keep one of those markers out just because I want to when I do whatever journaling I'm going to do, I want to do it in one of the colors that I actually already have. So this is actually the deep golden. That was the one that was this circle. I'm going to keep that one out because, you know, not really not really my shade, but you know, kind of actually it is kind of my shade if I look at the, you know, at the myself. So I think that's a good one to keep out to use for my journaling with the layout that's all about me and my melanin. Yes, my melanin, honey. Yes, beautiful. I love all these beautiful colors. Like, wouldn't it be that so nice if we all of these beautiful shades of people in all ethnic backgrounds and cultures could just be all meshed well together like this layout. So next step in my process will be, so what I want to do is I want to actually add some texture in the middle of some of those circles. So I want to just use, I'm going to use some white gesso just to create, actually, I'm rethinking that. Scratch that. I'm not going to use gesso after all, because while the gesso would work, I want to actually have it raised up more. So I think instead of the gesso, a better option would be for me to use a texture paste. I have this texture paste. I also have texture sand, but I've used the texture sand in the layout not too long ago, so now I'm just going to use this texture paste. That texture paste is very thick, so it's going to give it a nice raised element. So I'm just getting my stencil. I'm just going to go in the middle with a couple of these little circles. So I'm very careful to make sure that where I'm putting that texture paste is where I want those circle stencils to be covered. So just gonna put it on, not extraordinarily thick, but thick enough to make sure that it is covering the area. Okay, so the effect that that's going to give me, oh, I love that. Look at that. Oh, that is really nice. You can see how
it's at
nice
this point in the layout I figured I better stop and speed this up, or else I'll be talking to you all night. So what I've decided to do is use texture paste to continue making those circles within my circles, but this time I wanted to turn those color. So I've added some tan acrylic paint, no water, just acrylic paint to my white texture paste, and I'm going to go ahead and use that same stencil and create the circles within that larger darker brown square right at the top right hand corner of my page. So I'm going over with that tan texture paste into that stencil, and voila, there we have it. So then I decided, you know what, I like the contrasting colors. So now I'm going in my pen and I grabbed an even darker brownish color. That's not quite brown, but a darker tannish color of acrylic paint that I got from Walmart. And I'm going ahead and just mixing that up so that I can get it nice and dark and a nice shade. I'm cleaning out my stencil so I don't get any cross contamination, and I decided just to go in that top corner with that darker color, and I really like the way that looks. So I'm actually going to go ahead and add another one of that color because I liked it so much, just to give a little bit of interest. I do decide that I want to add another circle in that white space that I have there. That'll be on the side of my picture. So you see me creating another circle, and now I'm going in with that darker tannish brown color to add the circles within my large circle there. So very happy with the way that turned out. I did decide that the white circles were just a little bit too hard to see with the monochromatic look, so I did just lightly go over that with a little bit of gold glitter. Plus it'll give it some sparkle. So now I've taken a paper pack that I have from Illustrated Faith that I actually got from a local store. I believe it came from either a TJ Maxx or Marshall's. Anyway, got that paper pack, and I really love it because it has all the ladies in various shades, as well as the theme that I'm going for this page. So at this point I'm going in my scrap paper bins and just grabbing some scraps of paper that will be good contrast with my layout. And I found other small pieces of that paper that I had used for another project with the ladies, so I'm definitely going to use those. I'm looking for browns here, things that don't have too wild a pattern, but things that have dots or circles that will just coordinate nicely with my page. So I decided that I really like this brown dotted paper with white that I had, so I'm just going ahead and cutting that out. So I've gone in with my Silhouette Cameo and cut out the word melanin, which is going to be part of my title for my page. My page is going to be Melanin Magic, and I had this magic woodcut chip that I found from Dollar Tree, so I added that in. It was already a dark brown, which goes perfect with my theme. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut out some of those ladies that are from the Illustrated Faith paper pack that are in various shades. And at first I tried to use this freehand cutter tool, but that didn't work good at all. So I just went with my old-fashioned circle cutter and that worked really, really well. I like that circle cutter because you can change the sizes of your circles really nicely. So there I'm just matting that die cut that I just did with the ladies in a darker brown and then a lighter tan color. Again, bringing in as many of those hues to represent the different shades. So I see this little word strip of paper here on this page that I like. So I'm going to cut that out, and I'm just only going to use a tiny piece of that sentiment that has the word unique in it, because I thought that was just really a good sentiment that matched my page. Then I also saw this other sticker from that Illustrated Faith pack that I like that sentiment, so I'm going to add that one in as well. You notice in the circle that I created, originally the dresses of the ladies kind of clash with the colors in my color scheme, so I did go in with the brown markers and just color their dresses brown just to tie in that whole various shades of brown. So now I'm just going in with my precision tip glue and gluing down my Melanin Magic title right above my two photos. At this point, I'm just trying to decide how I want to embellish. So I'm just adding in, I actually threw away my little dot for my eye in the word melanin, so I had to use my hole punch there to create another the dot for my eye, and went ahead and did that. So now I'm just adding some propped up foam tape to that die cut that I made of the ladies with the sentiments, and I'm going through my sticker stash. I see this lady that also looks good with my project, so I will be adding her, but before I add her, I just cut out a little small circle to go behind her, and I'm just trimming off the excess there. So I'm just building a little small cluster on the right side of that photo. At this point, I'm just cutting out circles from other brown paper that I have, and I'm just roughing up the edges a little bit and building that cluster on my left hand side of my photo. So you'll see me do that a couple times. I believe I do a total of 3 of those. One with that small dotted brown paper that I use to mat my larger photo, and the other is that green paper that I have behind the lady on the right hand side, just to be cohesive. At this point, I'm going through my stickers, and I found these little brown felt circles, which I thought would look nice. So I'm going to add some of those to my page, as well as a few other small stickers that have words that match my page. I'm trying to stay within the browns, different shades of browns. I also found these Black History Month stickers that I saw, that I got from, I believe these came from Michael's. And there's one sticker that has the hands of all different people in different cultures, and I really, really like that. Thought it was perfect for this page. The only issue that I had with that sticker is that the backing on it is red, and I don't have any red in my layout at all. So I decided to cut out another couple of those little ladies from another sheet of paper that I had, and one of the ladies have on a red skirt. So I thought that was just one tiny element that I can add just to bring in that red to match that sticker. And I'm going to put that on the on the left hand side, so that I now have a red element on the left hand, and I have one on the right hand. So I'm just going ahead and roughing up the edges, and I'm going to mat that just on white paper, since that shape that I cut out of the ladies was not a perfect circle. Okay, so just trying to decide where I want to place that one, and I ultimately decide that I like it right at the bottom of my photo on the left. I've added in some glitter, so I'm using my precision tip glue as well as my tweezer pickers that were featured in my Amazon Prime Day video, and just gluing those gold sequins down on my page. Then I'm just adding with a gold gel pen, adding some lines, and just adding some journaling sentiment to my page. And that is the final step, and now my page is complete. I've added a few close-up photos. I hope you enjoyed this video, And I hope that it does inspire you to celebrate the diversity and the beauty that is of all different people and shades in the world. We all are different, we all are beautiful, and we all are love. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more content to come from Locky Creations. Bye.